late addition to the schedule, but you got to like coming up to Lexington and getting some work in today.
Yeah, I think the in-state schools know we love playing them all, and we try to play as much as we can home and we travel, and so I appreciate Jan Weisberg and EKU for setting this up here in Lexington. This is a little easier for us when we got a quick turnaround tomorrow, but we've been to EKU in the past, and we love they come visit us. So they had an opening, we had an opening, and we both wanted to play. And we came out on the winning side tonight, but they obviously had some hitters, did some good things, and a couple pitchers did some good things. And for us, it was big. We needed to pitch like that. We got to get Keon going. It's good stuff, and he can't catch a break. It's a 2-strike hit. Ball finds a hole, and then he gives up the big home run, and then he kind of lost his zone. But everybody from that moment on, it's impressive because it could backfire like it did a little last week when you see how they jump on your starter. But great to get TJ going, and then a couple of those young guys. We need those young guys, and Olsen, Gregor, and Karbowski.
I was going to say, how impressed were you with TJ to come in such a difficult spot so early and to be able to put up a 0 and kind of calm things down?
I mean, the expectations were very high for TJ going into the year, and as I addressed it to the team, we hit the halfway point. There's still a lot of baseball left to play. Yes, there's a sense of urgency, and there's only so many days left, so you want to embrace and take it all in. But, we're at the halfway point. So some guys have a great first half, some guys don't. Be able to turn the page, and TJ's a guy we need to get going. And, the shirt ended up in his hands today as I gave it to Byram Hott, and he gave it to TJ because everybody's excited when TJ gets it going, and obviously we always need a couple more pitchers to be trending in that direction.
You had some guys at the plate do some really good things, and we got a chance to talk to Ben just a minute ago, and I mean, had just a one hit, but gets as walks, HB, was able to really impact the game in some other ways as well to get across the plate too.
Yeah, you see the lineup now. It's like Crane, Hott, and Slanker have just been so good. So I have to push them up just to get as many at bats as we can from those guys. You're trying to protect Tague, and it's nice with Hott and Slanker. And so you got guys contributing. You still get good at bats from Campbell and Nugent. And so, yes, we get Zion back in the mix, and little by little we'll work him back in it. You feel like your lineup will just get better and better.
That's going to bring up Zion. You bring him into pinch hit, and then don't really get a chance to see much because of the catcher's interference.
Yeah. The blessing was he got in the batter's box. He got to see a live arm, and he didn't have to run. The fear is he plays so fast, the motor's so high, and that's what makes him a great player. But trying to mentally get him to, hey, just, base hit's a base hit. A double is like, we call it a big league double. We don't need any triples. But he's going to try to leg out an infield hit. He wants to go ball in the dirt, steal. He plays the game the way I love it. But, I'm just trying to make sure he understands, man, we need him in the lineup. We need that bat, that presence in the batter's box, and it helps us up and down.
How much even of just an emotional lift would that give the team? I mean, for kind of you don't want to say one guy's kind of the heart and soul, but I mean, you can tell that the team really kind of rallies around him.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you're voted team captain, when you're voted the hardest worker, when you're voted our Luke Garrick community service representative, and all the things and they see him every day and they see how hard he works. So the confidence you have when, it's, you call it the Michael Jordan syndrome, where we're going to win because we got Michael Jordan. I think just in the world of athletics, there's certain guys, when you get to play with them, you feel like, okay, we're going to win today because we got Zion, and obviously baseball is much different than a basketball where we can control who gets the ball every time down the court. Everybody's got to contribute, but you just hope it takes a little bit of pressure off of them. Where, hey, if he doesn't do it, the next guy will do it. We talk all the time about guys stepping up. Pick a guy up when he doesn't get the job done. And you saw the boost when he came back for the Marshall series, and for however short we had him in the lineup. A good lineup became a great lineup, and so we're close to getting that back again.
As you mentioned, a short turnaround, a Thursday through Saturday series at Duke. Does that change much when you have one less day to prepare for life?
Well, not necessarily physically with all the bodies. It's probably more the pitching staff and the rotation. So, the feeling of Wyatt's already moved up a couple days the last few weeks. Hartman's moved up a couple days the last 2 weeks. I feel like we can leave Wyatt in the Friday spot, leave Hartman in the Saturday spot. Let's see who we're going to run out there on Thursday. Like I told Coach Williams, when you got Eberle and Jake Bean and Peter Michael, like, you got some darn good options where some teams might staff it and not use a guy like that. I'm like, man, we got guys. We got dudes, as we like to say, that should be able to take the ball Thursday, get us out of the gate, and carry the momentum we got today into the weekend.
Still to be determined then?
Yeah, that's what you'd think it's going to be, I say, one of those three guys. But, Peter Michael's just been good in the spots he's in. You like to leave a guy in a spot when he's pitching well. And so, yeah, you got Bean and Eberle, and I'm not saying it wouldn't be a staff day, but, we didn't use a lot of guys today. We didn't use Schweitzer. We didn't use Jack Brown. We didn't use England. I'm forgetting a guy or two. We didn't use Case and Murphy. And, I mean, we've got talented guys. So I'm really pleased that Gregor and Karbowski and Olsen and those guys, man, we needed to get them out there, and they needed to have some success.
You mentioned this kind of, you kind of flip into the second half of the season here today. How do you, in the second half of the season, try to keep guys like Wyatt and Hartman fresh when, Wyatt's already thrown more innings this year than he's thrown in his career?
Yeah.
Combined, and Hartman's within 5 of what he threw last year. How do you try to keep those guys fresh kind of as you enter the second half?
Well, I think that's like I said, making a smart decision where they moved up from Sunday to Saturday or Saturday to Friday the last couple weeks. So we're not bumping them up again. Like, keep them in their spot, the Friday, Saturday spot. So now they get a full day's week rest. And but believe me, these two guys have worked their tail off. They're chomping at the bit. They're fresh. They got a lot of energy, a lot of juice. They worked their tail off to have a nice full load in a Division I baseball season. So they're older guys. They're strong. They've worked hard. And one thing Coach Williams has always done, I mean, one of his greatest accomplishments is arm care and guys pitching well. As you saw last postseason, as frustrating as it was, and we were searching, we were fighting, and Forbes was out of the rotation for a little bit, and we were throwing guys to the fire. When we got to the postseason, man, that group was fresh, and they were chomping at the bit, and they pitched their tail off. And so, one thing Coach Williams will definitely do is make sure, and again, why some guys weren't even on this trip. Stark wasn't on the trip. Shannon wasn't on the trip. Like, several guys were left back because there's not a chance I'm pitching you. And so he takes arm care as a premium. And so, yeah, we feel like the second half of the year we got guys that'll be fresh and ready to go.
Awesome. Great. Appreciate it, Coach.
Yeah.